David today embodies the perfect image of the American dream for Generation Z, a teenager from Houston who, in just a few short years, went from his bedroom to the biggest stages in the world. His secret? It all started with a simple phone. No studios, no famous producers, just a free app called BandLab and a determination that pushed him toward recognition. Before turning to music, David had already made a name for himself elsewhere, in the world of gaming. Obsessed with Fortnite, he streamed his matches on YouTube and managed to attract a growing community. But copyright restrictions cut that path short. Instead of giving up, he reinvented himself. He began composing his own tracks, at first to accompany players' highlight reels. His beats posted on TikTok went viral. The turning point came in 2022. His tracks began breaking out beyond the gaming crowd. The following year, his single romantic Homicide exploded, 100 million streams, a spot on the Billboard charts, radio play across the globe. At only 17, he established himself as a rising force in R&B. Brands came knocking, Crocs, Hollister, and more. Festivals sold out, and David became the new idol of a generation. But just as the spotlight seemed to shine from every angle, a shadow suddenly darkened his ascent. In September 2025, a chilling discovery shook the artist's public image. It began in a Hollywood garage that specialized in abandoned vehicles. Employees received a Tesla registered in David's name. At first, nothing seemed unusual until an unbearable smell seeped out from the front trunk. Alarmed, they called the police. When officers opened the vehicle, they found a body in advanced decomposition, stuffed into bags. The news hit like an earthquake. How could a car tied to a rising star contain such horror? Confusion reigned in the first hours. Some whispered it was a child, others an adult. Eventually, the victim's identity was confirmed. 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, missing for more than a year. The revelation left the public stunned. On one side, an adored artist in the middle of a world tour. On the other, the body of a missing teenager found in one of his cars. The contrast was brutal, and for many, it marked the beginning of a collective nightmare. Since Celeste's identity was confirmed, investigators and online users have been digging through her digital footprint. Disturbing details surfaced quickly. On Discord, screenshots began circulating. They showed Celeste's username in a server run by David. In one conversation from October 2022, when she was just 11, a message appeared from an account linked to David. "Celeste, you there?" Seconds later, she replied. On the surface, nothing incriminating, but for many, it proved a direct link between the two. 2 years later, in March 2024, just before her disappearance, other exchanges resurfaced. Inside the server, members chatted about the singer's personal life. One wrote, "He's got a girlfriend." Another added, "Yeah, her name's Celeste." What once seemed like a joke now takes on a chilling resonance. Photos and screenshots circulated too. FaceTime calls, images showing Celeste alongside David in questionable contexts. Their closeness seemed obvious, too obvious to dismiss. Some online voices even called them undeniable proof of a relationship. Anonymous testimonies piled up. On Reddit, users claimed Celeste's disappearance had long been an open secret. One wrote, "My sister's friend went missing last year. We knew she was hanging with David. We think she was being exploited." Others spoke of hush money allegedly paid to underage girls, and even possible payouts to Celeste's family. Then came another unsettling detail, a tattoo. Celeste had the letters Shhh inked on one finger, the exact same letters etched onto David's hand. For some, it was no coincidence, but a symbol of a secret pact, a silent mark of a hidden bond. As these clues stacked up, David's music took on a darker tone. Songs once seen as poetic were re-examined through a sinister lens. In Romantic Homicide, released on Celeste's birthday, he sings, "In the back of my mind, you died." A line once interpreted as a dark metaphor now sounded like a confession. In March 2024, the month Celeste vanished, David dropped another track. "My House Is Not a Home." The lyrics speak of madness, regret, and apologies to his family. Some saw it as a veiled admission. 2 months later, in the Philip music video, he's seen shaving his head in front of a mirror, as if cutting ties with his past. The timing of the words, dates, and gestures is now viewed by many as a damning thread of evidence. Today, the line between art and reality seems to have vanished. Fans dissect every lyric, every image, every frame of his music videos. What once looked like the meteoric rise of a young artist now feels like the unfolding of a macabre story. Since Celeste's body was officially identified, David's world has been collapsing in real time. The image of a prodigy adored by Generation Z is shifting before the public's eyes into that of a young artist entangled in one of the darkest scandals of recent years. The fallout was immediate. His team announced the cancellation of his Seattle show. Brands that once had him as their ambassador, Crocs, Hollister, and others, cut ties without a word. On social media, the backlash was furious. Hundreds of thousands of posts flooded TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter, brimming with anger, disbelief, and disgust. Hashtags bearing his name, once signs of admiration, became tools of public trial. The music industry's silence was just as telling. Artists who, only weeks earlier, had proudly posed with him erased their posts. Some unfollowed him, others deleted collaborations. Overnight, the face of R&B's future became someone to avoid. Yet one fact continues to raise questions. Despite the cloud of suspicion, David has not been charged. His team insists he's fully cooperating with authorities and is not officially considered a suspect. But one question remains unanswered. How did the body of a missing teenager end up in a Tesla registered to his name? A car never reported stolen. Investigators are treading carefully. The coroner's report describes an advanced state of decomposition, making it impossible to immediately determine cause of death. Celeste's death is officially classified as pending, while further analyses are conducted. Meanwhile, every move David ever made is being re-examined. His live performance of Romantic Homicide on television just days after Celeste's disappearance now feels chilling. His videos, lyrics, and interviews are scrutinized like potential evidence, as though each detail might hide a clue. Public opinion remains split. Some uphold the presumption of innocence for a teenager thrust too quickly into the spotlight, while others point to the haunting pile of coincidences weighing against him. In the midst of this chaos, one certainty remains. This story is far from over. The career of a rising artist hangs by a thread. A young girl's life has been lost in shadowy circumstances, and a family is demanding answers that the investigation has yet to provide. So, what is left of this case? The image of a boy who once had it all, now at the center of a macabre scandal, a trajectory where fame collides with tragedy. And above all, one burning question lingers. Will the truth finally come out?